XML documents don't conform to a particular structure, which can sometimes make communication between disparate applications difficult. SOAP was developed to define the XML structure in which data is sent, or more generally, to provide an interface through which disparate systems can communicate. SOAP is a W3C recommended XML-based protocol for web services that defines a platform-independent, language-independent format for sending messages between networked applications. Before you can communicate using a web service with SOAP, you perform 3 steps: search for a service, request access, and establish a contract. After examining a WSDL to establish the format required by a web service, you create a proxy class with a suitable interface to send and receive SOAP messages to and from the web service. SOAP 1.1 was created in 2000 by Microsoft, IBM, and other companies as an open standard supported by the W3C. It provided the standard for web services in .NET version 1. 3 years later, SOAP 1.2 was created in response to a number of issues with the first version. Chief among the changes was an increase in specificity, in other words, making the specification less ambiguous. XML is an open standard and platform-independent language. Many vendors, platforms, and tools can use XML in one form or another because XML is self-structured. However, for disparate systems to communicate with each other, there has to be an agreed structure for the XML. This is the function of SOAP. SOAP mostly uses HTTP for transport. You could perform some communication using HTTP GET or HTTP POST methods. However, SOAP supports more complicated calls than simple name-value pairs. Another benefit of using HTTP for SOAP communication is that it can tunnel through port 80 on most firewalls. To improve reliability and performance, or in circumstances where HTTP can't be used, you can use Transmission Control Protocol, or TCP, to transport SOAP calls. After searching a UDDI for a WSDL and examining the specifications from a particular WSDL, which step do you take to consume a web service? The SOAP specification consists of a number of components, including a description, serialization rules, definition of a protocol, and remote procedure call, or RPC, binding. SOAP messages are simple and intrinsically one-way. There is no calling method or function built into SOAP. So SOAP messages are created within HTTP